let's talk to the Eagles head coach. Nick Sirianni is brought to us every single Tuesday at this time by Bud Light. Of course, you can pregame with Ava Graham at Casey's in Quakertown. That's Quakertown, PA, this Sunday before the Eagles game as they take on New York. You can win tickets to a home game and Eagles merchandise. The 3-2 head coach of the Eagles, Nick Sirianni. Good morning, Nick.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning, Nick. So, Nick, congrats on the victory. I know there has been a lot going on. We'll just ask you this open-ended question to start. What has the last 40 hours been like for you since you guys got that W? I mean, I know a lot happening. What's the last day and a half been like for you?
Yeah, obviously just getting everything corrected from the game that we need to get corrected. So there's been a lot of, it always starts with tough conversations as far as us as coaches of, what we screwed up, because we want to be hungry, make sure we understand that what we screwed up, so we can get better from it. But then again, what did we do well? How can we repeat that? How can we look at different things? So it's a Monday and a Tuesday. As obviously we're just starting Tuesday and starting to get into our prep on the New York Giants. But a lot of just fixing the mistakes, and obviously a lot easier to fix mistakes. A lot easier to fix mistakes after a win, but make no mistake about it, the corrections and the standard is still what it is, and we just buckle down and try to get to work and do that.
Hey, Nick, let's talk about some of the stuff after the game, because there's the game and then there's other stuff. So you, of course, apologized yesterday in the press conference. You didn't specify precisely what you were apologizing for, and I'm just curious, what did you say to the fan or fans near the end of the game?
Oh, shoot. I'll keep obviously everything of those things private, just like my conversations with players. If the camera picked it up, it picked it up. But just, a little back and forth. But what really, my energy, right, I'm trying to bring the energy. I think that's something that I've always done and always been able to do well, is bring energy. But my energy needs to be devoted towards coaching the players, like my butt off on the players, which, I think if you spend any time here or when out at practice or out in the meetings, my energy is high, and I'm constantly trying to coach these guys high. But that's where it needs to be focused, and to motivate them. And really, I say motivate, but to just wire them the way we need to be wired. And then also, to celebrate with them, because there's nothing like celebrating with your teammates. It beats anything else, anything where you say to a fan, anything you say to an opposing teammate, celebrating with your teammates is the best thing. And so, I'm just saying that I want to make sure that I am doing those things and not doing anything else. It's not productive. And, if anybody took it the wrong way, I wanted to apologize to them, because, that's what being a man's about, is being able to admit your mistakes and move on from them and, remember them so you don't repeat those mistakes.
Nick, let's talk about Sunday's press conference. So, and I want to be really clear on this. I truly and greatly admire your love for your family. I mean, it's so evident that you wear it on your sleeve, your heart. It's great. It really is. I do think, and I think a lot of people share this sentiment, there's a time and a place to incorporate, children in a post-game press conference, perhaps after a playoff win. Looking back on it and now moving forward, do you think it is appropriate to have children at a post-game press conference with you right there?
I think I shouldn't swear in front of my kids. I don't do that. My wife was very quick to tell me that don't swear in front of them. But I have so many great memories of football, and growing up in football is why I'm in this position today. And I said this after in my press conference on Sunday. I have so many great memories. The relationships that I have because of this game, and the things that my dad, when he was a football coach, let me experience. I can't do all those things for my kids. Right? One practice isn't after school, where I go out there and play in the bags and do things like that. Practice is during when my kids are in school. So there are limited opportunities to be able to be able to share these. I love my family with everything I have, and I want them to love this game the way I love this game, because of what this game has done for me. That was my only intention. Just like my intention is, like, my kids get to go play play catch on the field after we win. And my only intention is after a win, being able to. My kids love going up on that with that press conference with me, and my only intention is to share a moment, after that. And in my eyes, in my mind, I've learned in this game that it's hard to win, and you have to appreciate the wins. If you don't appreciate the wins, it is a miserable, long, lonely experience. And so my only intention is my love for my family and want them to share that moment with me because of my past.
So, Nick, to that point, though, even if it sounds like you're saying, even if it bothers a lot of people, it sounds like you're saying you intend to do that again. Is that correct?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Again, that is for my family, and I think that you do the same thing for your family that you think that is important to them.
Nick, let me throw one more at you, and then we'll get deeper into football itself. So, we field a lot of phone calls here, as you know, and I think it's fair to say basic fan frustration relates to this sentiment on Sunday. A victory against a pretty bad team that was a very close game in a season with big expectation and major stars, and even the wins have felt underwhelming this year. And all of that, plus stuff on Sunday after the game, there's a lot of frustration right now amongst the fan base. Does that sentiment get to you where you recognize fans are very frustrated even though you have an above 500 record right now?
All we're trying to do is win games. Obviously, we always want to give the fans something to cheer about. And I think at the end of the day, when you look at the games, you want to be able to say you won a lot of games. And so our focus and our only focus is to how we get better as a football team to win a football game this upcoming week. And we're not thinking about 2 weeks from now. We're not thinking about the past. We're learning from the past. We're not thinking about, whatever happens in the future. We're only thinking about the New York Jets and how we win that New York Giants, and how we win that football game. And if you focus on anything else, if you focus on, it's just, you got to focus on the things that you can control. Of course, our fans are the best fans in the world. I can't say how much that the noise that allowed us, I've said this multiple times since the game, the noise that made them kick a field goal for us to be able to go into a 4-minute, for them to get 2 offsides penalties or 2 false starts penalties, and then we never gave the ball back to them, and we're in a 4-minute drill instead of a 2-minute drill. The fans helped us win that football game. We love the fans. We love the things that they provide for us. And so, of course, we want to make them happy. They're our fans. But we have to focus on the things, only the things that can help us get better and help us put us in positions to win this week. And it's just about winning games. And sometimes in this week, that team was hungry. That team knew that they had to come in here and play the best game of their lives to make sure that they kept their season going. And it's a long season. But they wanted everything they had. They had to win this football game. And they got good players on that team. They got good coaches on that team. And so we knew we were going to get their best shot. And you know what? We got their best shot.
Nick,
and we were able to come out on top.
We're the only team in the league who hasn't scored in the first quarter. What do you think the biggest reason is for that fact?
Yeah, a lot of different things. Obviously, if we knew the exact answer, we would fix it. But we're constantly trying different formulas, different things that have worked for us, different things that have worked for other teams. What I was proud about with the guys is that we had this. We worked so hard on this in the bye week, and we come off the bye week. And we're like, we got to start fast. We got to start fast. And you know what? Defensively, we started fast. It's offense. I think that needs to be said. The offense hasn't started fast. And so what I was proud of the guys is we had this intention. We're starting fast. We're scoring on our first drive, or we're scoring on our second drive. Well, neither of those things happened. And what their resolve, the players' resolve, and the coaches' resolve there to say, okay, it didn't go like that's sports, right? It didn't go as planned. Now what? What are you going to do now? And like I think about Jalen, who started 0 for 5, and I wouldn't say all 5 of those incompletions are his fault. Like there's a throwaway, there's a couple things that happened intermixed in that, and then he goes 16 for 20 off there, all while us intending to say we're going to start fast. I just think that's unbelievable dog mentality, unbelievable resolve. Now, do we need to score in the first quarter? Hell yeah, we got to start scoring in the first quarter.
Sure.
But I do think that the resolve was incredible, especially after how much time we put into it, and for it not to go your way. Sometimes you go all in on a defensive game plan, and the first part doesn't work. You got to adjust, or you got to adapt. And I thought our guys did a nice job of that, and that's a big part of football. The start is the start, right? That's the first 2 drives. And then there's a lot left of the game to play. There's always going to be dog mentality. There's always going to be next play mentality in a football game, and that's what I was proud of for the offense.
Nick, we were expecting a lot more under center this season with the new offense. Is Jalen in shotgun still so much because he's uncomfortable under center?
I don't think that's the case. Again, you do what you need to do each week. I think sometimes there's different avenues to being under center. You also have pistol, which simulates under center. I'm not saying that we've been in that a bunch, but there's parts of that as well. And I think just different game plans call for different things. I think we've run the ball well. I know we're up there amongst the top teams in the league running the football, which is where you talk about under center, but also you talk about under center for the play action pass game. But you're also when you're running the football, you want to mesh the play action pass game to the way you're running the football. So there's going to be a time and place for the under center. It hasn't been as much as we probably anticipated. I know you guys anticipated, but it's probably what we had probably anticipated right now. And so there's always room for that. There's always room for times to do that and times not to do that.
How do you balance the energy, enthusiasm that you bring to the team with composure? And how important is that to model the way you carry yourself and set an example for the players?
Yeah, sure. Again, I think that the energy, I think if you ask the guys or ask anybody in this building, the way I am during the game is probably very similar to the way I am during the meetings, during a team meeting, during a corrections meeting, or on the practice field. But again, there's a time and place for that, and so it is. It's composure. It's being able to have the knowledge of when to be energetic and who to be energetic with, and really that's it. And so again, it's my job as the leader, one of the leaders of this football team, is to practice what I preach, be accountable, and I think that's a big part of it, right? Being able to admit, hey, here's what, all I want these guys to do is get better to help us win football games, become better men for them in their lives. And so I think accountability is a big thing. So when I screw up, which, I obviously said that I did yesterday and I thought I did 2 days ago, that's a good opportunity for me to stand in front of the team and tell them that. And take accountability. If I want them to be accountable, I better be accountable myself.
Nick, we appreciate you being on the show today, and good luck, obviously, versus the Giants on Sunday. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Nick.
There he is, Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni. James, first crack at it. Your reaction?
I thought it was fine. I didn't like the answer about the kids and just doubling down and saying,
I didn't like that
basically,
at all.
too bad my kids want to come. I'm sure a lot of coaches' kids want to come up there. I'm sure that'd be a neat thing for a lot of coaches' kids to do, or players' kids, or whatever. Just because they're your kids doesn't mean you can do that. I would love to bring my daughter to work with me. I never want to leave my daughter. She's my favorite thing in the world. Every second I get to spend with her is a gift. I would bring her to me. She'd sit right there.
Here's where I'm at.
You know what I mean? It is what it is.
On that topic, 2 things. One, I'm very disappointed that his answer was what it was. I think it's a straight mistake.
I'm blown away.
I'm shocked.
I'm shocked by that answer.
Straight mistake. Two, it means Lori and Howie are permitting it, at least to this point, and didn't tell him in the last 40 hours, don't do it again.
Now, hold on. I think there's also a possibility that he's saying that to defend what he did, but will never bring the kids up again. You know what I mean? Or at least until they're a big playoff win or something.
You know what? If you were, I mean, maybe, James, but here's the thing. If you're about accountability and you're told don't do it, then just say, you know what? That was a mistake. I'm not doing it again.
Look, I agree with you.
That's accountability.
They might not have talked to him about it. Like,
they
who
might
knows?
not have, but you know what? It's 40 hours, and he's met with the media 2 times.
I'm certain that he hasn't been talked to about it.
I'm not certain of it.
He is about being accountable.
Listen,
I think he just would have said, yeah, I made a mistake, and I fixed it. I talked to Mr. Lurie and Howie about it, and we're not going to go down that road.
But maybe Lurie and Howie are just of the mindset like the players were from this past week. Let's just let Nick get back to being Nick. If that's what he needs to be at his best. But here's the thing, and this was sort of my point when I asked the question about the fans. It frustrates fans. Now, you can make the point that doesn't matter as much as winning and losing on the field, and I would agree. It doesn't matter as much as really winning. I don't mean beating the frickin' Cleveland Browns by 4 points. Really winning. Getting to 11 wins, getting to 12 wins, being an elite football team, having a shot to win a Super Bowl, being a team that galvanizes the fan base and that people feel proud about. People didn't feel proud Sunday at 4:30.
No way.